How's everyone doing this morning? Mike here. So today we've got a chicken of the woods video I'm going to do. So last week I went over Laetiporous sulphureus, the yellow pored chicken of the woods. Today I want to talk to you guys about the white pored chicken of the woods, the Laetiporous cinnatus. And I've had several experiences foraging both of these mushrooms, and I just want to kind of go over foraging tips today. I'll talk about cooking methods and key identification features. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button right now so you see more mushroom and farming videos like what you're going to see today. But anyway, guys, this is the Laetiporous cinnatus, the white pored chicken of the woods. Let's get it. All right, everyone. So first I want to go over some of the key identifying features. As you can tell on this chicken of the woods mushroom, the top side of it is orange. It's got a white pored underside, so it is a polypore mushroom. So remember, it has pores on the bottom side of it. You can refer back to my Laetiporous sulphureus video, the other chicken of the woods video, for another clear picture of the pored underside. These also will be growing on decaying wood or on stumps. The Laetiporous sulphureus can also have this rosette shape. This is a prime specimen right here, just so you guys all know. This is the perfect time to pick a mushroom like this. It's got good size and good mass to it. This one's definitely about in between the 5 to 10 pound zone, and it's fresh. You can tell it's nice and fleshy, and you'd be able to pick this one and preserve it in your refrigerator you could eat on it for a week or two, honestly, and they keep really well in the refrigerator. Here is one that I actually found just driving around in my car. This is an easy way to find chicken of the woods. I'll kind of talk to you guys about this. I've had several times I've just been cruising down the highway and I look and I'm like, chicken of the woods. And I end up pulling over and I end up picking a mushroom on my trip somewhere. But this one I was totally just cruising through a park, kind of just having a nice chill morning. I was planning on looking for some mushrooms, but I didn't think it was going to be that easy. And I literally just rolled up on the park on this one and was able to spot it next to the base of an oak tree, parked my car, and then I got out and picked it. Here's actually another one I found at a park. I was actually just at a horseradish festival walking around. I saw there must have been a buried stump because there was just kind of like a shrub there. And I noticed a chicken of the woods kind of sitting at the base of this. So I went over there, picked it, put it in the car, and I had like a special treat when I was coming home from the horseradish festival. Here's another one I found cruising around in the park with my car. And if you look, this was actually a really big find. I weighed this. I had it between 20 and 40 pounds. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you can see it. I've got it on the trunk of my car in that picture. And I just found it on a weekend. I was just on a drive, went to a park, and I saw it right next to a pavilion, actually. But super easy to find, guys. All right, everyone. So hopefully those pictures kind of gave you a good idea of what the chicken of the woods, the white pored one, looks like, and where you can find it. So you can just find it in your local park, evidently. But if you just take a hike or go down a trail or something, keep your eyes peeled because this is a bright orange mushroom. You'll just, like I said, you'll see it hanging off a tree. Sometimes you'll see it under the base of a tree or on a stump. Very easy to spot. And now I have some cooked pictures I want to show you of what the chicken of the woods looks like cooked. And I also have another fun little story. But here's what the chicken of the woods actually looks like cooked. Okay, so the chicken of the woods is on the right side of that plate. I ate it with some salmon and some asparagus. It was a really good little meal, but that chicken of the woods tastes just like a chicken breast. Even the texture is very similar to chicken breast, and you can even kind of see that in the photo. Okay, so that one was really tasty. Now, I want to kind of talk about what temperature range you can find these things in too. This time of year and up through fall is the perfect time of year to be looking for chicken of the woods. Typically, I find them in between the temperature zones of 65 to 85. When you start seeing those lows in the 65, high in the 85, it's a really good time of year to be looking. I want to say too, this mushroom isn't entirely dependent on rain. If there's more rain, you might be more likely to find it, but this is a mushroom I've seen fruit in droughts, and it's because it's parasitizing on these trees, and there's a lot of biomass to the tree, and it can pull moisture from the tree, And I think that's what helps the chicken of the woods fruit a lot of times, even if we have dry conditions. Now, I want to share with you guys a fun little story. The first time I ever came across chicken of the woods, I was actually morel hunting with my dad, and I had just kind of gotten into mushroom foraging, and I was asking him, I was like, "Hey, I've heard of this chicken of the woods mushroom. Have you ever seen one of these things before?" And he was like, "Oh, maybe, probably. I probably saw some of them. They're orange, right? I think I saw some of them on the horse trail." So he wasn't sure, but he might have seen them, is what he said. But we were out morel hunting, so early in the year. I mean, these were kind of lower temps because it's springtime. Temperatures were, I'd say, in the 50s, to tell you the truth. And we didn't have much luck, believe it or not, on morels that day. We've had great morel days. I'll share some of those with you. But on the way back, I remember hiking back, I looked over and I was like, I think that's one of those chicken of the woods. Sure enough, it was. And it's super cool because I had just started reading about this mushroom, and then I literally just brought it up with my dad that day. I was like, "Hey, have you ever seen one of these?" Simulation, guys. But anyway, I'm going to show you a picture of that chicken of the woods. And here's the thing, though. This one was past its prime, but it was still kind of edible. And being my first time, I didn't know any better. My dad didn't know any better. So I picked it, took it home, and ate it. And there was actually some bugs in it, and I didn't actually realize until after I ate it. But you know, that's okay. That's one thing I want to say you will experience eating these chicken of the woods mushrooms. Anytime with a wild mushroom, there could be bugs in it or something like that. The older the mushroom is, the more likely there is to be bugs in it, just because it's growing for longer, and bugs are more likely to make it their home then, and they like to feed on these things too, because you know bugs need to eat too. But if you happen to have a chicken of the woods that has bugs in it, you can still eat it. You can eat the bugs, but some people choose not to. And honestly, if you get a younger specimen, like some of the photos earlier, and I will show you, again, I'll compare the one me and my dad ate with that had bugs compared to a prime specimen that will not have bugs, just so you guys don't go eating one like that. So here's the one that me and my dad came across. All right, everyone, here it is. It's so laughable to me now looking at this that I actually ate this thing. But you know, I'll tell you what, when you're a mushroom noob and you don't know any better and you're super excited that you just found this new edible mushroom that you haven't had before, sometimes you just try them and you don't know any better until you actually have a ripe one too sometimes. But you can see just the formation this thing had. I'll never forget walking up on this thing. It was huge. And I just remember we had filled up several bags just because we had mushroom bags with us since we were out picking morels anyway. And I want to say we filled up 3 or 4 of these bags we had. And I bet you there's probably about 40 pounds of chicken of the woods there. So keep in mind, this is past its prime, still edible, but past its prime. I will show you a prime specimen right here. Okay, so this is that rosette specimen that I showed earlier. Absolutely prime. This is when you want to consume these things. So kind of see how it's a little more, it's fleshy, but it's not as dry as that older one that I showed previously. And then here's another shot of that one. You can tell it's nice and fresh, hasn't been around too long, but this is the ideal condition to pick and eat. All right, everyone. That was the white poured chicken of the woods. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And until next time, I'll catch you on the next one.